Our thoughts create our experience of the reality in so many ways. None of us really experience life and the world around us as it is. We experience it all how we think it is and how we are ourselves. Think about this. In a stadium full of people, tens of thousands of people even, watching a game or a concert, each and every person there experiences that event in a unique way. They all have their own interpretations, their own perceptions and perspectives on what's going on, what they see, what they hear, what they feel. So even though the event itself is the same, there's the same, performer, or it's the same game they're watching, they all experience it in their own way. So the thing is that our thoughts create our feelings. However we think about whatever, that affects what kind of meaning we give to that event or situation or whatever is going on. And with that meaning, we feel how we feel about that thing, what's going on. And the thing is that our feelings affect also our health. Cell biologist Dr. Bruce Lipton has established and proved that our cells in the body, they live in an environment caused by our feelings. Meaning that whenever we are in a negative state of mind, in a negative feeling, then our cells are living in an environment that is not beneficial for their health or the well-being of the cells. On the other hand, also, if we are in a very positive state of mind, having positive feelings, then our cells in our body live in an environment that is beneficial for the well-being of our cells. So our feelings really have a tremendous effect on our health, well-being and longevity, among other things. Our feelings also affect our behavior. Well, this should be pretty clear. Think, if you are in a bad mood, whether you're angry or pissed off, you're sad, or whatever, worried, whatever it is. So if you are in that kind of a negative state of mind, then your behavior also reflects your feelings, right? So you behave according to your feelings. If you're angry, you behave angrily. Simple as that. Then again, on the other hand, if you have positive feelings, you're in a positive state of mind, happy, in love, joyous, excited, or whatever like that, then your behavior also reflects those feelings that you have. So you behave differently. And then further on, our behaviors, our actions, they affect what kind of results we achieve in our lives. And also, our behaviors and actions, they affect also how our environment treats us. Meaning that, okay, let's have that previous example. If I'm like in an angry state of mind and I behave accordingly, of course the environment also responds to me and my anger and my angry behavior in a probably not very positive way. On the other hand, if I'm in a very positive state of mind, I'm happy, joyous, whatever, things like that, and I act and behave accordingly. Then, then also the environment responds to my behavior in a different way. So, meaning that our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors, they affect our environment. We can change our environment and how the environment views us and behaves towards us with our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So we can in fact change the environment. Now, our thoughts are largely based on our belief systems. Whatever we believe about ourselves, other people, and the world around us, whether we are bad people or we are good people, or the world is bad or whether the world is bad, or other people are good or bad, or whatever. These are just, examples. But these are our beliefs, how we kind of like view the world or ourselves. And of course, we act also accordingly. So our beliefs affect the thoughts we have. So that means that when you change your beliefs and your belief system, then you change the way you think. And of course, how you feel and you behave and the results you get. The main thing is there behind all this is that when you change your thoughts and your belief systems, you change the way you experience life. What kind of meanings you give to different things. And also how you interpret the world around you and also interpret other people, whatever. And it's also good to really remember that your thoughts are your thoughts. They are really your choice, and you are in charge of your thoughts. You can choose your thoughts. No one else. It's totally up to you. So then the question, of course, arises that, okay, how does one change their thoughts? How do you change your thoughts? Well, it's good to understand that our thinking happens in many or different levels. There are at least 3 levels of thinking, or 3 minds that we use for our thinking. We have our conscious mind, which in fact is a very small percentage of the total number of or amount of thinking that is going on every minute or every second. Then we have our unconscious mind. That's where all the programming is. And that's a huge part of how our thinking really happens. Mainly also in the background. And then there's the higher mind as well. That is kind of like something that is outside of ourselves. That affects how we think. So like I said, when you change your beliefs, you change your thoughts. So a very good way to start to really practice different kind of thinking is to start to change your beliefs. Now, how does one do that? To get started with that, I have found NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, to be probably the most effective tool to change those beliefs and change both the conscious thinking and unconscious thinking. With a good NLP coach or NLP trainer, they will help you to both kind of become aware of your conscious thoughts, and once you become aware of your conscious thoughts, you can change them. And also, there are tools and techniques to change your unconscious programmings, like your belief systems, so that you start to view things in a different way, thus changing your thinking. Then there's hypnosis, which is also kind of like a part of NLP as well. But hypnosis is a really, really nice tool where you basically just relax. And the hypnotherapist or hypnotist gives you suggestion, and mainly gives suggestions to your unconscious mind. They are suggestions. They are not like orders or directions, you have to do this. But when your conscious mind rests in the background while you relax, then the hypnotist gives those suggestions to help your unconscious mind change those patterns that you have there. Then there's of course coaching. All kinds of coachings available. And coaching usually affects both your conscious and unconscious programmings that you have. So that might be a very good way also to get familiar with those processes and the tools on how to change your thinking. There are all kinds of coachings and coaches. So with that, I suggest that you get familiar with some different coaches and find out what is a good fit for you. Then there's of course therapy. Now therapies, sometimes they kind of like overlap with coaching, but really not always the same. One big difference in general between coaching and therapy is that therapy is more like going to your past, not always, but a lot going to your past so that you can become aware of the reasons why you have formed your way of thinking and behaviors that you have. Coaching might do that as well, although the coaching is mainly focusing on how to make those changes so that you act and behave differently in the future. So developing your thinking in the now, not in the past, so that you change your thinking and your behavior changes for the future goals that you have. Now meditation is an excellent tool, but it might not fit for everybody's needs. It requires a little bit different things. Whereas NLP or therapy or coaching or even hypnotherapy is something that there's the other person, someone who is guiding you to do things. Of course, there are guided meditations as well. But meditation is mainly going inside and explore yourself, your own thoughts, your own patterns, your own beliefs. And that requires a little bit, I don't want to say discipline, but it requires focusing on it in a different way. And meditations are really, really good techniques and tools to change your unconscious thinking. Well, also conscious. And also meditation has at least some meditations have great effects on the higher mind thinking as well. In some meditations you can have like the access to the higher mind and awareness from there. Then there's something called Reiki. Reiki is, well, some people think it's like energy healing. Well, yeah, it can be. It is about energy. It also is about getting in touch with the higher mind and using energy like loving or purifying or healing energy that can heal you both physically and also mentally. So meaning that Reiki has a great effect on both the unconscious, well, sometimes also a little bit on the conscious mind and also the higher mind. So meaning that different methods affect different levels of our thinking. And it is pretty much up to you to decide where you want to start. I would suggest, if you are really new, to start with perhaps NLP or coaching, perhaps therapy or something like that, that kind of like touches both your conscious and unconscious mind. In that way, you can get kind of like a hold of the processes that you have. And once you advance, it's more about letting go of the conscious part and let your unconscious mind and higher mind take over and, make changes to your thinking. Like said, I think you should explore and find out what is a good fit for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have found it helpful and that it has given you some insights. Thank you so much and be well.